Welcome to the Last Mile Profits videocast, the last word on the last mile. DoorDash has a new venture in the US. After this, find out what they've done. Modern Expo provides an integral ecosystem of screen-operated lockers, screenless autonomous solutions, refrigerated lockers, and even personal parcel lockers, powered by an in-house developed software. DoorDash has launched a service in the US for $5. You can ask one of their so-called dashers to come along, pick up your parcel and deliver it to a USPS location of your choice. Marek, this sounds like an interesting little twist to our last mile story.
Yes, hello Peter, hello everyone. It does indeed. Guess what? Do you think I like it or not?
I would say you do, because it adds another element of intrigue into your daily life.
Clever answer. Yeah, now, of course, anything that gives the customer more options is a good thing, I guess. My concern is, and you know that I can't ever manage more than 5 minutes without talking about out of home. If there was a proximate and well managed out of home option for the US customer, they wouldn't need this at all. Because if you've got a locker or Pudo slipper distance from your home, why would you pay somebody $5 to pick up your package?
So could it not just be a function of the geography of the US being such a vast nation, perhaps?
If we took that approach, we would say, well, hold on, China, which is also very large and has got a huge population, how could the Chinese manage to implement, probably now they've got about 500,000 parcel lockers and at least that many access points. So if the Chinese could do it, why couldn't the Americans?
So do you think this DoorDash service may have a limited lifetime once everybody cottons on to the fact that there's an even simpler or maybe cheaper way of getting your parcel delivered from A to B safely?
Yeah, I reckon, Peter, that this service, in a way, is a sign of failure of the legacy carriers, the incumbents. I know I'm always a little bit of a legacy carrier basher, but what I mean, Peter, is that A, had they developed a better out-of-home proposition, this wouldn't be relevant. B, if they were able to pick up parcels in a customer-centric manner, i.e., with an Uber type app, what I call interactive delivery management, so the customer knows when they're coming, can be at home, makes it really easy, then you wouldn't need this service. So this is, in my view, a sign of a double failure of the incumbent carriers. Failure one, they weren't able to offer an efficient and ecological out-of-home option. And failure B, that even if they were going to go to door, they weren't able to offer a proposition that was attractive enough to prevent their customers from paying an extra $5 to get someone else to do it.
Do you think the third? Sorry, were you numbering or lettering? Are we going on to 3 or are we going on to C next? I think it's C, isn't it?
I think we can do
C.
I was so carried away in the discussion, I'm not even sure. Let's do C.
Let's do C. And C, I would say that perhaps there's a failure for these incumbent carriers to have maybe collaborated and perhaps to overcome this conflict of a UPS vehicle up one end of the street and a FedEx vehicle up the other end of the street. Nimble old DoorDash has come in there and said, look, we can solve this issue. We can sit across all brands here and we can do what they've failed to do, which is get their heads together and send a single vehicle up our street.
I think the sharing economy is a big deal. The obvious place for sharing would be with lockers and Pudos, because if you imagine if the 3 incumbent players got together, so the big ones, USPS, FedEx and UPS, put their access points together, plus added lockers onto that, wow, it would be incredible. The challenge is, I'm not sure they've done enough with their own networks, and I'm not sure if they have the vision to be able to work together. To be fair, because I've got to be reasonable here, there are very few places where that is really happening yet, although it's changing. But I reckon you're right, Peter. They could get together in terms of out of home. They could get together in terms of optimizing the routes. It's always of concern where an agile third party comes in to do what you can't do.
Do you think there's a chance then that we'll see a DoorDash type of operation sneaking into Europe as well?
In theory, it could happen. I think Europe is far better in terms of out-of-home capability than the US is. So, and everybody, almost everybody, maybe I'll say to be fair, believes that out of home is a great tool for returns. In fact, probably one of the biggest strengths of out of home is servicing returns. So I would expect there's going to be less of an opportunity in Europe. There are tactical ways where you can use companies like DoorDash, peak supports and other similar, shall we say, quite specific areas. But I honestly don't see it happening at scale. But then I might be wrong. Maybe someone's got some experiences that will say, hey, it could work. And also, Peter, I think it would be really good. We don't get too many comments from our buddies in on the other side of the pond. So maybe there's some people that can prove me wrong. We've got our own guy there, Tony Yashinsky. Maybe Tony, you've got some comments. Maybe sort of someone else who's long in the tooth, FedEx, UPS, or USPS can prove me.
It would be good to hear from our, as you say, friends across the ocean. Marek, I think this is the first big story of 2023, which between us we haven't managed to spot coming up on the rails. So maybe our 2023 predictions weren't as spot on as we'd hoped they would be, but we'll see. It'd be great to hear from any of you out there anyway, what you think your predictions will be, because we're still looking ahead to the year, and also what your thoughts are on this new DoorDash service.
Absolutely. It would be great to hear. I mean, the only thing I'll say, Peter, is let's watch this space. I'm not so sure that this is going to be such a big deal. But again, let's observe, and it wouldn't be the first or the last time I'm wrong.
Thank you for watching the Last Mile Profits video. For more free analysis of the last mile, please like, follow and subscribe below to ensure you are notified every time we upload new content.